Okay, so part two of Mariah Huq speaking with Carlos King. Let's just get straight into it. One thing I can say is I like the back and forthness between Mariah and Carlos. They both work in the same industry. They both are producers. They both create shows. It's a respect thing. So it's not like it's this a student and teacher situation. It's a teacher and teacher system situation. I like that. So, where we left off last time was Carlos King. He asked Mariah, is Dr. Jackie the real villain of Married to Medicine? Mariah said absolutely. The reason why she said that was because she felt like Dr. Jackie has never been kind to her. Dr. Jackie has never been nice to her, in her opinion. She said that Dr. Jackie, excuse me, I'm belching. She said that Dr. Jackie came to her home. She didn't even speak to her, didn't say anything to her at all. She said she's just always had what I feel an elitism kind of attitude. And many people have unfortunately said that about Dr. Jackie. And there are certain things that we have noticed, whether some of us want to admit it or not, and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. We don't know Dr. Jackie's life necessarily. We don't know her upbringing. We don't know things that she went through. I'm sure she went through many things. My sister-in-law, she's a nurse, and she worked, in the OBGYN and stuff with, many doctors and everything. And she was telling me how little Black people it is that are nurses or just that work with the babies, period, in the hospital. How little Black people it is, period. She said there's hardly none. It was just her and two other ladies, and everybody else was white. So I could just imagine, especially growing up in the time where Dr. Jackie grew up in, how discriminatory and stuff it has been. But there's still no excuse to treat people a certain kind of way, allegedly. But sometimes the mistreated becomes the one that mistreats others sometimes. So I don't know. Let's continue. It was a mess. She said what she's interested in seeing is if next season, if they're going to skate over what has happened with Dr. Jackie, or are they actually legit going to talk about it? And that's what I'm interested in as well. At the reunion, are they going to bring it up? Next season, are they going to bring it up? Because, Dr. Jackie, she did release an apology video on her Instagram Live. But it was very much so teleprompter reading. That's what it gave. But I do feel that she's sorry. In general, I do. But like I said in my reviews, everybody has their day on these reality televisions shows. You cannot escape it. At some point, we all will go through it, and in terms of their life being on the microscope and out of everybody, even with the whole Curtis thing that happened with Dr. Jackie, out of everybody, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly have been protected the most in terms of we don't see their lives. The whole thing that happened with Dr. Curtis, it's been years, like 7 years or so since anything has happened. And it's just like, we definitely see the difference in the treatment. It's like the non-doctors get thrown to the wolves. Let's just continue to exploit their life. But the doctors is protected in a way, especially Jackie. And, it's just not right. At the end of the day, we all on the show together, Should nobody be above anybody else. Let me see. They talked about Toya Bush Harris. She said that she did not know Toya, but all the doctors and nurses said you need to know Toya Bush Harris if you're doing a show about doctors' wives and stuff. So, Toya Bush Harris, she is definitely Married to Medicine for sure. She talked about a time with Toya where this was season 2, and Mariah wanted to meet up with the ladies at a restaurant and tell them what the producers was trying to do. Basically, they was going to start to pin them against each other and create a whole thing. Toya Bush Harris went to the other producers and said that what Mariah was doing, that she didn't trust Mariah, basically. And then, we all know what ended up happening from that. So she was just like, Toya is a real person on the show, whether you like her or not. But she don't have a filter, and she don't know when to pull it back, and when to say things and when not to. And we've seen that. I mean, that's just the truth, too. But Toya is married to medicine for sure, and very pretty. Okay, what else is going on? She also said that Toya is at a bypass in her life. She says that Toya wants more. Toya is not fulfilled in her life, and I think she's probably taking it out on Eugene. Now, I can agree with that, for sure. Because, I mean, my God, it can't just be Eugene that's the problem, Toya. I mean, y'all have had the same issues for years. You want the man to work. You want to, live in these lavish homes, and, you want to be that girl, so to speak, and do this and do that. Yet you want him to be at home with you often. But it's just like, well, what about the bills? It's just, it's weird. One interesting thing she talked about was that they do not show the true marriage dynamics between the ladies who are doctors and the husbands who are not doctors. They don't really show that. They just always show the women who are not doctors and their husbands who are doctors. And she said she don't really understand that. It's okay to show all sides of it. How do the men feel that their women are the doctors or the main financial providers or whatever? And also, what do they do? What is their career like? What have they done? To contribute and all that kind of stuff. We don't talk about that kind of stuff. But even with the ladies, I mean, like Mariah said, you would not know that she was the creator of the show. You would not know that she casted all the ladies. You would not know that she pitched the show to the network or any of that had she not said it herself, because the producers was not going to promote her. They weren't going to say anything about that she's not just a doctor's wife and stuff. And none of them are just doctor's wives. Toya, she's done many things and worked in the medical field, I believe. Quad said she has. It's just a lot that they don't show. They just want to show the women in a certain kind of way. And that's really just inauthentic and messed up and sexist and unfortunate. And yeah, it's a mess. They got on Phaedra. She was just like, she just don't understand why Phaedra's there. She likes Phaedra, but why is Phaedra there? She don't understand the connection. I said that on Chalaki Thoughts video. Although we like Phaedra as a reality star, and I think because we like Phaedra as a reality star, or we just like seeing Phaedra. We don't really care what Phaedra's on. But as far as her in particular being on Married to Medicine as a main cast member, it's just like, well, what in the world? And Phaedra was definitely protected her first season, because it was just like she didn't come to work and all that. Carlos talked about how Heavenly told Phaedra that the producers are like, they're trying to give you a heads up on different things, something that she did not extend to Sweet Tea, basically trying to look out for Phaedra and blah, blah, blah. But Heavenly already talked about how the producer said, don't come at Phaedra because we're lucky to have her. We don't want to run her off, so to speak. And it was even speculation that one of the reasons why Dr. Contessa and Anila did not return was because they gave, instead of paying them or whatever, they was just like, well, let's just get the big dog on here, Phaedra. They had to get rid of somebody, so that's who they chose. I don't know. But all the ladies who end up, a lot of what I've noticed with these shows, sometimes they say they're leaving or their contract ended or it's their choice to leave when really they got fired. So you really don't know the true tea. None of them on these reality shows, once they've been on a significant amount of time and they leave, they never say they got fired. None of them. So we don't really know what the true tea is. But Yeah, I'm just like it's very interesting. Let me see. She said Phaedra deserves her own spin-off show, just like Miss Quad. Let me see. Apparently, she still has receipts on Dr. Heavenly, on Dr. Damon. And she said she still got the receipts, child. And she said she's just not going to release them because you don't want no mess and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, sure. I'm sure Heavenly is going to talk about that when her and Carlos get back together, child, and talk. I wonder how Heavenly truly feels about Carlos doing these interviews with the ladies. I wonder how she feels. Like, for real, for real. I wonder have their friendship changed. Because it's very interesting, for a person that you're close to, you do videos, reviews and stuff with every week, to start doing reviews and stuff with the cast members that you have a problem with and stuff. It's just like, it make your head go, But okay. Let me see. Talked about the dream cast. Her dream cast would be Janice. Remember Janice? What was she? Was she a dentist? Or she worked at her husband's practice? Something. Janice was a beautiful lady. She stood up to herself. I think she stood up to Heavenly because Heavenly came at her as, as Heavenly's role. And I like Janice too. Pretty lady. She said, Buffy, child. Buffy, Tuffy, child. Buffy is in the hot water, child. Y'all saw Dr. Contessa. Watch my Chalaki Shorts video, where I was talking about Buffy Purcell and the interview she did with Oliver Twist, and Dr. Contessa's response to what Buffy said, child, because it's going down over there in the land of medicine. I want Dr. Contessa back on the show, by the way. Mariah said her dream cast would be Janice, Buffy, Toya, and she's interested to see what Sweet Tea is going to do. Mariah says that Sweet Tea didn't have a fighting chance. She says she feel like the ladies are being mean to her, especially Heavenly. She says she just don't understand the bullying, the badgering, the being so deep into the marriage and stuff. And she said when Quad was married to Dr. G, Heavenly didn't do all that. So why is she doing it with Sweet Tea and stuff? And she just don't like the bullying and the badgering and all that. You talked about Dr. Alicia. Heavenly feels like Dr. Alicia was casted because she's a younger version of Jackie. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think they just needed another doctor on the show, another lady. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what Dr. Alicia gives. Okay, she said that it's time for some OGs to be removed. She said they've gotten too complacent. They're one-trick ponies. They're tired and through. Let me see. And she just don't like how produced the show is and how the producers won't let the ladies just be and exist. Everything is produced super, and the producers are whispering in the lady's ear and all that kind of stuff. And it's just very interesting that these ladies are such dominant forces in the community, and they're allowing people to basically just get in their head and manipulate them and all the things. But I mean, when somebody write your check, it's just like, well. As Carlos asked Mariah, would she do an ensemble show? She was like, will the ensemble show do me? Okay. She was just like, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get back on TV, and do the whole thing. And Carlos said to her that you're born to be a reality star. And Mariah said that's like you saying that you're born to be a vlogger. And that whole thing, it was going back and forth with that. Mariah sees herself obviously as more than just that, and and all the things. And Carlos understood. They talked about how difficult it is to run a production company, and they don't know all the stuff that they go through. Yeah, she said it's a lot. They talked about doing a collaboration possibly in the future on a show. I would definitely watch. Um, he talked about Carlos. He talked about being iced out and certain things that he went through, and he also talked about how difficult it is to have other black people go against you and go with what the white folks say, and respect them and believe them, and buy into them and what they're selling versus your own kind. That's in every that's everywhere. That's in every form of business. Period. We see that, but it was set up like that for us to go against each other, crab in a barrel. Only one or two of us can succeed at one time, and we don't trust each other, and the whole nine. We see it constantly. I mean, look at the Grammys recently, when Jay-Z talked about how Beyonce never won Album of the Year, when she can win everything else in every other category, and is the most awarded Grammy artist of all time, but she can't win Album of the Year. The main one, it's like, okay, we're going to give you all the rest of them, but we're going to slight you here in this area. And it's Beyonce. I mean, what do you think that is? Why do you think that is? So it's just like, but with that said, I think that like I said in that video, the people with means, they need to get together, and we need to just start to just do and create and put into and buy into our own stuff. It's never going to be equal. It's but anyway. And I would love for Carlos to do a video on the things that he went through being a producer on Real Housewives of Atlanta. The things that happened, what was the fallout? What was the reason that he left? Like, because he was worked on that show for like years. And so I would love to him to dig deep and do more real and honest content on who he is, and why this came about and why this happened, etc. Versus, we love these videos, these interviews, but I would love just a sit down interview, or just him talking to the camera and telling what really happened, and things that he go through, and how difficult it is to create your own shows and casting and all. I would love to see a video like that. So yeah, but it was a great interview. They end up hugging each other and giving each other their flowers, and it was nice to see. I am just excited to see what Mariah Huq has next, baby Mizrahi. Yes, indeed. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google+. Follow me at Iskinsor on Instagram and Twitter, at Iskinsor89 on Snapchat, Chase King on Facebook, Mr. Chalaki on Cash App, PayPal, and TikTok. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. Happy Black History Month. Bye.